Hello students, warm greetings from FIITJEE Indore. I, Chaudhury Sayan, the Territory Business Head of FIITJEE Indore, is going to answer one of the most frequently asked questions to any academic counselor, that is, how to manage time. So in this video, I am going to describe two very simple yet very effective steps to manage your day-to-day activities. So if you see in this board, from step 1, you need to list down a particular set of activities that you conduct on a day-to-day basis. Now let me theoretically assume a student who wakes up at 7 a.m. in the morning. So now let's see what he does on a day-to-day basis. So firstly, he wakes up, he freshens up for taking account of 1 hour. So from 7 to 8 a.m. he freshens up. And then he takes another 1 hour to have some relaxation time, to have breakfast, or even to get ready for his school. Then he attends his school session, that is from 9 to 3 p.m. So he accounts 6 hours in total to attend his school. And as soon as he returns from his school, he takes a small break of around half hour. And then he plans to study. So there is a study session 1 that accounts from 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. That is a total duration of 2.5 hours. And then he takes another small break to have some evening snacks or to watch television or to have evening tea. That also accounts for another half hour. And then he plans to have another study session, let's name it as study session 2, which starts from 6:30 p.m. in the evening and ends at 9 p.m., which also accounts for nearly 2.5 hours. And then he has his own fun time, he watches TV, has dinner with his family, gossips with his family for another 1 hour. So from 9 to 10 p.m. is his recreation time for the evening. And then finally he concludes the entire day by having another study session that accounts from 10 to 12 a.m. in the morning. That also accounts for 2 hours. So if we describe each and every activity and calculate the total amount of hours that he has dedicated in that particular day. So for the study, he has concluded 7 hours of study apart from the school hours of 6 hours. He has taken a break that is equivalent to 4 hours. That is even more than enough for a particular student to have his own extracurricular activities as well as to have his own fun time as well. Then he accounts for his school time of 6 hours, and finally he has an adequate amount of sleep for 7 hours. So if we do the total of 7, 4, 6 and 7, that comes out to be 24 hours in a day. So now this seems pretty complicated, right? Don't worry. I will shorten it up for you. Now let's create a graph, a very fun graph, very entertaining graph to show how you can manage your time on a day-to-day basis. So as you can see in step 2, we have to create a timeline chart, which is also known as a timeline graph. So on the y-axis, as you can see, you have to list down the same particular set of activities that we have mentioned over there. You can see he freshens up, he relaxes and travels, so on and so forth. And on the x-axis, on the topmost side, all these time periods, these have been mentioned over here. Now, one interesting thing to note is that all the time periods have been measured in a particular dimension. So you can create such kind of time chart on a simple graph paper that is available to you. So you can see that the length of the bar accounts to the time that he dedicated to that particular activity. So you can see that from 7 to 8 a.m. in the morning he freshens up. Then another for 1 hour he takes for relaxation and travel. Then there is a huge timeline bar from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for his school sessions. And so on and so forth. You can see that the entire bar chart has been completed. So now, what is the benefit of creating such a graph? You can take a printout of this graph and then you can paste it up on a study table. So what happens is that now let's assume that the next day when you wake up in the morning, you can actually find out that what are the particular set of activities that are needed to be followed on a day-to-day basis. So whenever you wake up in the morning, you don't have to think कि आज क्या करना है मुझे. Those set of activities are already listed down on the list of paper. So my advice to all the students would be that create such a simple timeline chart and then follow it on a day-to-day basis religiously. Thank you everyone, and I hope that you have enjoyed this learning session. Thank you.